The number of billionaires is the sum of the cryptocurrency billionaires for the previous month. This is a cumulative figure in the cryptocurrency sphere for the entire history. The total number of billionaires turned out to be more than 5 times greater than after the FTX collapse in November 2022. The following number of billionaires was more than 6 times greater, starting in December 2023. With these, Bitcoin's share accounted for more than 2/3, while the total amount of money was more than 3 times the number of billionaires for the previous month. After the collapse, the number of altcoin billionaires fell sharply, losing more than 2/3 of the 3 billionaires in 2019. This is the cheapest package of altcoins with the Luna crash moment in May 2022 year. Many analysts and SMIs have already spoken about the altcoin season from the point of view of a negative trend on the market. However, not everyone is silent on the track. Important catalysts for growth and development appear in the crypto space. Recently, Donald Trump spoke about the strategic reserve of cryptocurrencies, which signals interest in crypto integration into the U.S. financial system. Such a presentation of cryptocurrencies with the support of the state is an unprecedented event in the history of the crypto active market. Cycles suggest that despite short-term pain, crypto adoption continues to accelerate. Is this really the end of the altcoin bull run or the start of a new one? To answer this, we must understand what an alt season is. Alt season is when altcoins significantly outperform Bitcoin in the crypto market. This usually happens when Bitcoin dominance, the percentage of total crypto market cap held by Bitcoin, starts to decline noticeably. We saw this clearly in 2017, especially in the last quarter, when Bitcoin dominance fell almost in a straight line. During that time, altcoins rose steadily, gaining over 600% in just 3 months. A similar pattern appeared in 2021 when Bitcoin dominance declined, coinciding with a 700% rise in altcoins. A falling Bitcoin dominance signals investors are shifting funds from Bitcoin into altcoins, seeking higher returns. Conversely, rising Bitcoin dominance means money flows back into Bitcoin, causing altcoins to underperform. Typically, a bull cycle begins with Bitcoin pumping first, which causes Bitcoin dominance to rise, while altcoins lag behind initially. The fastest alt season occurs after the initial Bitcoin rally, when money consolidates or accumulates and Bitcoin dominance starts to fall, as this usually takes 2 to 3 months at first. In the story, a shark attacks a maximum, and both Bitcoin and altcoins are falling. But altcoins are falling more sharply, which indicates the growth of the Bitcoin dominance ratio and a cycle reset. Alt seasons are periods when investors quickly sell Bitcoin at a cheap rate and move capital into more expensive, more risky cryptocurrencies to gain higher returns. This cycle is caused by the growth of the appetite for risk and the expectation that altcoins, which often lag behind Bitcoin, will outperform it, leading to a sharp increase in their capitalization. For 2,230 years, the Bitcoin dominance ratio has been stable, with 3 attempts by investors to break the 100% barrier, which does not indicate the beginning of an alt season. Our opinion is that Bitcoin can maintain dominance in the near future, alongside the growth of the dominance ratio, until the beginning of the next alt season. When the Bitcoin price rises, active retail investor outflow increases and interest in altcoins rises, indicating a signal for retail alt season. One way to track retail interest in altcoins is to analyze Google search queries that help identify retail demand. During times of extreme risk in the crypto market, interest in altcoins among retail investors naturally surges, as seen during the massive alt seasons of 2017 and 2021. In both those years, altcoin search interest spiked significantly, with the search index crossing 70, indicating strong retail capital inflow into altcoins during peak seasons. A few months ago, a similar rise in altcoin searches occurred, but this time, the search index barely reached 50 before interest started to fade. This suggests that retail fear of missing out, or FOMO, which typically drives peak alt seasons, has not fully kicked in yet after retail sentiment reset. Since a true alt season is still ahead, we are already scouting the best risk-reward setups in the altcoin space to prepare for upcoming opportunities. One interesting trade currently on our radar is Litecoin. Back in November 2024, Litecoin surged 105% in just a few weeks. Since then, Litecoin has been consolidating between $80 and $137, forming a pattern known as a bull flag. The bull flag is a continuation pattern, signaling potential for another strong upward move if a breakout above $137 is confirmed. Our entry trigger would be a confirmed breakout above $137, with a stop loss set just below that breakout level to manage risk. For the target by the higher flag, we take the projected height of the first two waves, which corresponds to the stop loss level. This brings Litecoin to a maximum of about $2,200 by the end of the first half of the year. In fact, this pattern is valid only when the wave narrowing condition of the correction wave in the double bottom is met. Once the altcoin's price rises sharply, it is not only in the growth phase of the month. It is important that the altcoin also operated Bitcoin in terms of liquidity. This is evidenced by the graph showing the correlation of Litecoin's liquidity with Bitcoin. After the last 6 months, this correlation was found to be stable, showing Litecoin's dependence on Bitcoin up to 2/3 of the test period. But the situation changed in February when Litecoin rose to the top 7 cryptocurrencies by market capitalization. With this, the Litecoin to Bitcoin exchange forms a basic pattern, based on the fact that in February 2017, the market began to recover. The reason for this line is the beginning of Litecoin's recovery over Bitcoin, which is primarily due to the number of coins in circulation. As with the dollar in the USA as well as Bitcoin, the situation for Litecoin is developing very constructively. One Litecoin is not a single altcoin with an interesting situation. There are other altcoins that already have their own long-term interesting trend. Now, this altcoin is second only to Ethereum in testing its own problem that can solve the beginning of a new wave of the second generation. This altcoin is called Curve, or CRV. The platform helps people combine stablecoins and other cryptocurrencies with low commissions and minimal price slippage. After the next 5 years, the price of the token tripled, which was very important. It became a kind of support for the third time in June, when the price did not fall below $2,000. After that, the masses of the book orders decreased, but the growth rate of the token's price doubled in November to $2,000. With these CRV tokens, a real 7-day test of this second generation began. It will show how the second generation problem and support of the third generation token will be tested, Make a case study with a clear stop loss below the lower line of the wedge and the initial target between the two support levels where the bulls can show a strong breakout. If at that time a full-fledged alt season starts, CRV can reach the next support level of the double bottom bulls zone. This will be the first such significant double bottom test in the time of the November rally of 2020. Analytically, Litecoin needs to fix CRV with Bitcoin. This graph clearly shows that CRV has already broken out of many descending trends. Now CRV is testing this problem again, which may lead to a longer rise in the future. After this test, CRV will become objectively more attractive than Bitcoin. The increase in the maximum supply by 2,247% over the past year has caused CRV operations to be compared to Bitcoin. Many altcoins become more attractive than Bitcoin after the dollar and Bitcoin crash. But not all can beat Bitcoin even in the long term. The reason is divergence. In 2,700 years, the total number of altcoins reached about 3,000 altcoins, and last year, their number increased to more than 3,600,000,000,000. The selected number of tokens indicates the greatest liquidity for each project. This also explains the sharp increase in the altcoin market, which Bitcoin preceded in this cycle. Here's why this choice is more important than ever. It is necessary to be selective so that you can confidently invest in altcoins and beat Bitcoin.